Hey Jens, how are you doing today? I hope you are all doing well. It is Thursday, October 28th. It's almost Halloween, almost All Souls and All Saints Day. So, welcome back to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, I am Gerald, or as you may all know, Ginger Gerald. So if you are new, welcome to my channel, and I hope if you like what you see, you hit that subscribe button. You might hit the bell so you get notifications of the content that I put out. I'm fumbling around with a whole bunch of stuff on my desk here, and you continue to stick around and check back from time to time. I have been MIA, or missing in action, for a few weeks now. We knew that I was going to be absent about 2 weeks ago, but I had fully intended on filming over this past weekend, and I didn't get to it. So life just got in the way, and I got busy, and so I was planning on filming on Monday. Didn't happen. Tuesday, just didn't happen. And so it is now Thursday and I'm finally filming. So let's recap what has been going on in the life of Gerald, and we'll get there. So first off, coffee is brought to you by IUP because I got to visit my alma mater a couple weeks ago. So it is now 5:30 in the evening. I am back home from work. Haven't had a chance to change yet. And I do have, it's kind of blown out here with light because it was really nice and sunny this morning, and now it is dreary and dark out because I think we're going to start getting some weather coming through here for tomorrow. I think it's supposed to be nasty and rainy, and it decided to appear early. So I decided to go ahead and throw on my desk lamp just for some extra light here because it is kind of dark in my dining room. So the lighting is kind of blown out in areas. So we will try to do the best we can, but I definitely wanted to get a video out today to just get us all caught up to speed. So anyways, my coffee cup is brought to us by IUP, or Indiana University of Pennsylvania. That's where I got my undergraduate and my master's degree. Undergraduate in music education, my master's in special education because I do work in special education. I'm now in administration. I don't actually work in the classroom, but I am the administrator for a high school within a special education school. So there we go. Cheers to the video today. Anyways, so welcome back to my channel. I have already said that, but I've been away. So 2 weeks ago, the weekend after Columbus Day / Indigenous Peoples Day, I got to travel to Western Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh. And I got to meet up with my family, my mom and my brother, and we stayed at my aunts and uncle's house. And we also got to visit my other uncle who flew in from Texas for the Steelers game, which they actually won that game, which was good to hear. But we had a mini family reunion in Western PA, which was really nice. Got to see some other extended family. And I just got to enjoy a nice long weekend off from work and have some time away from home and be with family. So I got to see my mom and brother, which I haven't seen since the 4th of July. And we got to travel around our old haunts since we're from Western PA and visit some friends and family. So that's where I was the first weekend that I was away from filming. And then this last weekend, life just got busy and I had too many things to do, and filming was not on the top of the priority list. So I just didn't get a chance to film and talk with you all. So and then this week at work, I had some late nights at work, and until I got home, I've been going to the gym right after work until I get home after a night at the gym. I've been too tired. So I have not been able to film until today. So here we are. I'm here, we're filming, and we're drinking coffee. All right, so let's get down to some business. First off, I just moved my coaster, and I actually wanted it back over here. Okay. A couple things that we need to talk about, just the reminders. I do still have an available dishcloth set in my Etsy store. If you're interested in a set of dishcloths that I've made, I do still have one autumn set available in my Etsy store. Let me just double check that the listing is still active. But it is available in my Etsy store for purchase. And yes, there is one still in stock and available if you're interested. So that is available for you all. Next up, and I have not been knitting any dishcloths lately. We'll get into our knitting progress here in a little bit. I had the other thing of business is that I had a giveaway going in 2 videos ago that we need to announce the winner. So the 2 videos ago, I had asked for anybody who was interested in receiving this Riola's kit to comment their favorite animal in the information section below. And I had overwhelming comments about everyone's favorite animals. And before this video, once I got home from work, before this video, I did draw a name. And the winner of the Riola's kit, the snowy owl, as I like to call it. I don't know if that's what it's, the red, not the owl. I stitched the snowy owl. This is a red fox. The snowy red fox is Chandra Souder. I'm horrible at names. Chandra Souder. Chandra Souder, S-O-W-D-E-R, who loves owls. That's where I'm getting the owls from. So, Chandra Souder, who loves owls, please let me know in my email. I have my emails in every info section below, or you can chat me up on Instagram with your address, and I will get this out to you as soon as you do so. There we go. All right, so I do appreciate everyone who entered the giveaway, and there will be more giveaways to go. All right, let me check off because I actually have notes for this video because it's been a while and I have lots to talk about. Let's talk about a plant. Should we talk about a plant? I actually have a very big plant I want to talk about because over this past weekend, it's been starting to get kind of cold at night, and so I brought in not all of my plants. I still have a few plants. I have my Christmas cacti, which are technically Thanksgiving cacti, still out on the balcony, trying to get their buds on. So they're still outside. But all the other plants I started bringing in so that I could get them sprayed down with insecticidal soap. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that picture of all the plants in my bathtub getting a good spray down with the hose. Some spiders came out of them, as well as I sprayed them down with insecticidal soap. So we should be good to go. But let's go ahead and do a plant profile in my gardening section. So let me just grab the plant that I wanted to talk about today. And as you can see, I moved some other plants around. This is my Regal Shield alocasia, but that's not the plant I wanted to talk about. This is actually in a pot that's sitting on the floor. But this used to be in my bedroom, but I pulled it out here because I think it got, I have my syngoniums in the pot underneath, the same pot, but the syngoniums are underneath the alocasia. I think they got some sunburn. Okay. the plant I want to show you today, this is called an Anthurium hookeri ruffles. And so I bought this at my local greenhouse. And when I bought it, it was bursting at the seams in the pot. The pot actually burst open. And so I bought it and then I brought it home. And I was able to split it up into 4 different plants. So I now have did I do 4 plants? 3 plants. I split it up into 3 plants. 4 plants. What did I do with the 4? Whatever. I have 2 of the plants. I kept 2 of the plants. And so this is the largest of the 2 plants. And it basically looks like large pieces of lettuce. But here is the plant. And so this is called an Anthurium hookeri. I could be butchering that name. Ruffles. At least that's what the greenhouse called it. You can see there's that one leaf in the back there that doesn't look so hot, but it's still hanging on there, so I'm not doing anything with it. This plant has grown 2 new leaves since I've had it. This long one right here that is sticking out there and in the front, as well as this one right here is a brand new leaf that just popped up in the last month or so. And basically it's just, it does this. It does bloom. I've had a few blooms on it. I think I'm either getting a new leaf. You can see that nice light green. And it's really hard to move this pot around because it's so big. Where's the, right here. This right here. Right here is either a new leaf or a bloom coming. I think it's a new leaf, but yeah, it's doing really well. So again, this is called a Anthurium hookeri ruffle. So most Anthurium look very philodendron-ish. They have the heart-shaped leaf. This one is very different from that, and that's what I like so much about this. So there we go. Let me go ahead and put this away, and then we'll go on with our crafting progress. All right. I hope you like that plant. It's one of my favorites. It's definitely one of the largest plants I have. It's the largest girthy around. This one's probably the largest tall-wise that I have. So, okay. Let's talk some crafting. First off, I want to talk about this. Remember these? It's been a long time since I've talked about these. This was my sweater that I was working on over the summer and the last spring. I have decided a few weeks ago, I'm ripping it out. I'm not happy with it. I already started ripping it out. I'm like halfway through ripping it out now. I'm not happy with the progress. I was not happy with it. I was struggling with figuring out there was something wrong with it. I couldn't. I got to a point where in the pattern I couldn't figure out there was an issue either in my knitting or in the pattern. I couldn't figure out what was going on with it. I knitted it twice. Couldn't figure out what I did wrong. And so I decided I'm going to rip it out. So I started ripping it out. I'm just slowly pulling away at it. And as I continue, as I find time that I'm either too tired to craft or I just want to sit on the couch and veg, I'm just slowly pulling it apart and winding it back onto the cones. And I am already looking for a different pattern to knit with this yarn. So it will eventually be another sweater. It's just not going to be this pattern. And I feel so much happier that this isn't just sitting in the corner collecting dust, and that I'm going to do something better with this yarn. So I just wanted to announce that on my video that this sweater that I started is no longer a sweater that is going to continue. So there is that progress, or lack thereof. All right. While we're talking knitting, ooh. Last time I showed you, everything is on the floor, so I'm going to be bending down a lot. Last time I showed you a new start on the shisha scarf. Shisha scarf that I started. And so over the last couple weeks, this is all I took with me to Western PA, to the Pittsburgh area. I did take a project cross stitch, but I just didn't have any way to really work on it, so I didn't do any cross stitch while I was in Western PA. I knitted while I was there, and I didn't even really do much knitting while I was there. The majority of this happened while I was here at home. I kind of lost the stitching mojo, and I've really been back into the knitting bug. So I've really taken off, and this is basically all I've worked on for the last 2 weeks. I have done a little bit of stitching. So I started this a little over 2 weeks ago, and I kept my stitching. So that's where I left off last time we were there. So I had these first 8 repeats done since the last time you saw it. So it's a basic 6 row, I think it's 6 rows, repeat. And this is using Knit Picks. I forgot to bring the thing over. It's a Knit Picks yarn. And I forget the name of the yarn. But it's something that I've had in my stash for many, many years. So I'm just trying to use it up. Anyways, so this is Knit Picks. Oh my gosh, it's going to drive me nuts. Anyways, here's where we're at. That's where I left off last video. And this is how much I've done since we last filmed. So, this blue marker is where I was supposed to end the scarf, which was 52 repeats. But apparently my gauge is not the same as the pattern's gauge, because it was much shorter than what the pattern said it would be, because I didn't do a gauge swatch. So I'm going to continue going until this ball of yarn is done, which is what I wanted to do anyways, and I'm hoping that it'll be long enough. But I really like the look of it. Kind of matches my mustache. It's not for me though. I don't think it's for me. But there we go. So that is my progress on my scarf. I kind of like it though. Maybe it will be for me. Maybe I'll do a different one for me. I don't know. So there we go. that is my progress on my scarf, the Sesha scarf. I'm going to continue working on this probably. I've been really knitting a lot. So, and I already have another scarf that I want to get started on as soon as this one's done. So this one might get a lot of work done. This one will probably be done by the time I film again. This was a free download. The Sesha, Sesha, Sesha scarf is a free download off of Ravelry, if you're interested. Okay. And if you're interested in what this is called, you can go back to the last video I did previous to this one, and I talk about it in that video. All right, now let's talk about some cross stitch. First thing I worked on was the Red Panda. Red Panda Riolis. This is also what I took with me to Western PA, and it got no progress while I was over there. And when I returned from Western PA, this is what I tried to work on as soon as I came back, and I did very little on it, and then I kind of lost interest. And I think part of the problem is because I didn't stitch on anything for 5 days, I just kind of lost the stitching bug. So that's why I did a lot of knitting, and I'm kind of now into the knitting thing. But so I basically finished everything over here on this side of the bottom right hand corner of the pattern, except for the back stitch. I'm going to do the back stitch last because there's very little back stitch to do. And so I went ahead and moved the Q-snap so I can work in this bottom left hand corner. And so basically all I've done is started working on his tail. So this is the tail of the Panda, and I didn't get very far. And I kind of lost interest. I think I worked on him for a couple hours doing the tail, and I just didn't feel like stitching on him anymore. I would really like, my goal is to get the Red Panda done this year, before the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's a goal. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I don't think it's a lofty goal, but I do have some plans that we're going to talk about later that is going to be happening here soon that could put this goal in jeopardy. So we'll see. So that's Red Panda. I'm going to try to work on him this weekend, this weekend, and get some progress on him. But no guarantees. Maybe I just need to take a break on him because I was working on him for so long that I just need a break. The next thing I worked on was the medieval tapestry sampler that I bought from Cross Stitch Row on Etsy. I started over here on the left hand side border. Oh, the Riolis kit is stitched on 14 count Aida 2/1 using their acrylic wool blend. All right, so the medieval tapestry sampler, I'm stitching this on a 40 count cobblestone linen 1/2. The cobblestone linen is from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers, and I'm using DMC number 400. And here is my progress. So that you can see this is actually currently still on my stand because that's what I'm currently working on. So this is where I'm currently at. And I've made it all the way to the bottom. So this is the entire size of the pattern. And I'm really enjoying it. I really, really like it. And I'm really pleased with how it's looking on the fabric. And it's really blowing out. That's better. That's a much better color right there. So, ouch. Again, this is 1/2 on 40 count. And this is the entire height of the pattern. So this is the bottom, this is the top on the left-hand side. And this is again using 400, number 400 DMC. Cobblestone linen, or cobblestone from Fiberlicious. It's a 40 count linen. Very pleased with that one. All right, the last thing I have is actually a new start. So, and I actually showed this on my Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is Ginger Gerald Stitcher, ginger.gerald.stitcher. So typically every week I have a stitching date with one of my friends, and I just, the things that I've been stitching on recently do not lend themselves to to a stitching date, because I have an iPad stand holder for my iPad, but I can't use. This is a digital pattern, so I can't use my iPad for a pattern and to talk on my stitching date. You know, I can't have. It's hard for me to have a paper copy, a paper pattern, like such as my red Panda, up at the same time as my iPad, because they take up the same space. So what I decided to do was to start something new just for my stitching dates. So what I decided to start was the Queen's Crowns by Plum Street Samplers. I've had this in my queue to start for a while, because I just recently finished, well, this year I stitched and finished Plum Street Samplers, the Queen Sampler, the one with Queen Elizabeth. So I wanted to do this one as a complementary piece to that, so I can hang them together. And so I'm stitching the Queen's Crowns And I'm changing it all up, kind of. So this is being stitched on 28 count white Lugana that I coffee dyed and baked. And I'm stitching it 1/1 using DMC 221, which is actually the called for, DMC 221, which is actually the called for DMC. It actually calls for a belle soie, but I don't have that and I'm not going to use that. So I'm using the DMC equivalent, which is 221. But I'm stitching it 1/1 because I don't want it to be massive. And I'm stitching it on the coffee dyed and baked fabric because I think it looks really cool. And here is the progress. So again, this is the Queen's crowns, and that's about 2/3 of the crowns. Let me get something different to put in the back because you're getting a reflection. That's better. So this is 2/3 of the crowns complete. I have, I think, 12 more crowns to go here. And then I have the entire border and the word Gloriana underneath. And then I'll be done. And this is 2 settings of two stitching dates done. So I am stitching this. So I did the first these 2 rows one date, these 2 rows another date. And I'm really pleased with it. So I'm using, like I said, the DMC 221 for the crowns. I'm going to use Anchor Black for the borders. And I think I might change the color of the word Gloriana, but I'm not sure yet. So when I do, you'll have to check back and I will let you know. But there is the Queen's crowns. So there we go. So that is all of my progress for the last 2 weeks. So like I said, heavy on the knitting, light on the stitching. Not sure if that's going to change much in the next couple weeks because I'm really feeling the knitting itch right now. Couple things I want to follow up on, some plans that I have in the works. I'm going to continue working on the things that I have going right now. It's probably these 3 projects that I'm working on are going to be the focuses for the next couple weeks. Definitely the Red Panda I would like to continue working on. As well as the tapestry, the medieval tapestry, and the Queen's crowns is definitely going to be a piece I continue working on. And it's not going to take me long to finish that, but that only comes out whenever I have Zoom meetings, stitching dates that I have with friends. I am going to be starting a stitch along. So this coming month, I have signed up to participate, and I will put in a picture here of that stitch along. It is the By the Bay Home Sweet Home stitch along that is starting on November 8th. It is a 12-month, I believe it's a 12-month stitch along. It has 1 home every month for the next 12 months starting in November. I've actually reached out, or Donna from By the Bay Needle Arts and I have been talking about this stitch along, or SAL for short, and there is a hashtag which I believe is, and I'm going to say it right now, I'm looking it up right now. The SAL for that stitch along is Home Sweet Home SAL, HOMESSWEET HOMESAL. So Home Sweet Home Sal. So you can definitely follow that on Instagram if you are participating, or even if you're not participating and you just want to see the progress. I've already liked that that hashtag, so I can get all the updates of people that are participating. I do not have the fabric yet that I'm going to be using for that for the project. So I am going to be starting just a tad bit later than everyone else because it was kind of a last minute decision that I was going to jump in and participate in the stitch along. I'm not really a stitch along person, but I couldn't resist a By the Bay needle stitch along because I love her designs. So I just finished her the Donna's In My Father's House for my mom that I gave her this 2 weeks ago, which was awesome because I got to see her and she has it hanging in her house. And so I jumped on this stitch along to replace, because I love having By the Bay pieces going, I guess. So if you're interested, I highly encourage you, if you like Donna's pieces, to sign up for the stitch along. I believe you can email her if you go onto her blog. I will put all the information in the information section below that you can of how to sign up for this this stitch along. You can either contact Donna at her blog or email her, or you can contact. I'm just going to put the information of how to go to her blog so that you can get all the information for the stitch along. And you can make your own decisions about how you want to reach out to sign up for the stitch along that way, because it's just easier if you do your homework that way. So if you're interested, the SAL starts November 8th, but you can start anytime. So go ahead and look into it. I think it's a great stitch along. I'm really looking forward to it, and they're small pieces. Each home is only a 3x5, so even though I'm starting late, I think it's gonna not take that long to catch up, and I'm hoping that I will have time. It won't take me that long to get my fabric in. I ordered 3 pieces of fabric because I'm not sure which piece I want to use, and I ordered it from Fibrelicious, so I know it takes Fibrelicious a little bit of time to hand dye the pieces of fabric, so we will see. But I'm very much looking forward to doing that stitch along. It's been a very long time since I've done a stitch along, and I'm hoping I can keep up. I'm hoping that I have the motivation to keep up because I don't do stitch alongs very well. But I think this one will, and I think this one's going to be the one. All right, so that is my plans. Of course, I say I have plans all the time, and then they keep changing because I wanted to finish Red Panda, and then this comes along. So, oh well. So that is my plans for the next few weeks. And of course, just continue working on everything that I have going on, as well as work and the gym and everything else, because, you know, life. With that, I have a new giveaway. So if you are still here with me, thank you. I have 2 sets of Floss Flower thread bobbins because I am a bobbin person, but I'm not I like my traditional bobbins. But if you are interested in these Floss Flower thread bobbins, I have 2 sets. I'm going to give two sets away. So two lucky people will get these Floss Flower thread bobbins from Lori Holt of Be In My Bonnet Co., which are from the Fat Quarter Shop. If you are interested in either of these, I want to know what your favorite plant is. So as you know, I have been plant, flower, it doesn't matter, just a green growing. It doesn't even have to be green because I actually have plants that are not green that grow in my house. So if you have a plant, I want to know what your favorite growing vegetative thing is. Let me know in the comment section below, and you will be entered for a chance to win one of these Floss Flower thread bobbins. I have 2, and you might be lucky and get one. So as I keep showing you all of my favorite plants, because every one of these plants in my house that I have, and I have many, are favorites of mine. So let me know what yours is. And until I see you next time, I hope you have a great time stitching, crafting, cooking, gardening, doing all the things, staying warm as the weather comes into a cold chill in the northern hemisphere, or staying cool as things start to warm up in the southern. And I hope you have a wonderful week ahead and weekend in whatever days you're watching this. And until I see you again, as always, don't forget to always be creative.